audiobook session. We are listening to the 5 a.m. Club. This is week number, this is week number 3. So greetings, everybody. As usual, I'm grateful to life, God, our creator, and our ancestors for creating an opportunity for us to be able to get together this morning. And I just ask that the time that we spend, let it be very fun and productive for everybody who's participating. So welcome all, greetings all. Sister Tashana, the floor is yours.
Hi.
Hello. All right. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody's morning? Everybody get a chance to catch up. Hi, Tashana.
Hi, I'm sorry about that. I lost my screen.
No.
And I was talking, so I'm going to do that again. Good morning. How is everyone doing today?
Good morning, everybody.
Bright and early. Well, for me out here at least, it's 5 a.m. 5:03. Thank you for joining us this week. This week's chapters were quite insightful. A lot of new themes were introduced to us. If you have the supporting PDFs that go along with the book, you can refer to those as you're going along. One of the things that was brought up during this was the 3-step success formula. And I wanted to, I guess, kick this off by asking the group how they found the last couple of, now that we're kind of getting deeper into the ideologies.
Yeah,
there we go. Of the book. Thank you very much. What you guys are thinking, and if you have had any trouble with the homework last week, we'll go over that as well. And we'll open up the floor to you guys. So let's start off, I guess, let's talk about last week. Let's do a bit of a review. Last week, we had set up it was the weekly task, the weekly agenda. Pardon me. The weekly design system, that's what it was called. I know I had some trouble with it, and so I wanted to find out how that went for all of you.
All right. So I guess I could start if we're starting with the homework first, and then we'll go into what the chapters, or
yeah, we'll just review what we did last week's work, if you don't mind, and then we'll start the new stuff in a minute.
Okay, so yeah, so definitely, well, because I listened to the 5 a.m. Club, and well, I've been a part of 5 a.m. Club for some time. I already had a certain schedule that I put into my Google Calendar every week, right? That starts from 5 and gives me the hour routine and the hour breakdown where I'm able to spend some time in reflection and different things like that. Right now, why it was a little bit shifty and it was hard to be able to stay on top of it is because I'm also homeschooling in the daytime. So it just like the schedules, it was a challenge. And actually, so this week I was like, okay, I'm kind of observing how the week goes with the homeschooling, what works, where I still have energy, but it seems like I'm still up at 5 and doing what I can in the morning, but then the day changes because I have to take out like from 9 to 2. I'm doing homeschooling stuff, and then the day picks back up at the end of the day. So it's just a little bit weird for me. So it was a bit of a challenge, and it took me forever even just to print up the physical, or to have a physical copy of the schedule, because I couldn't type into the version, and I don't know if there isn't a typable version where we could use it. Maybe that might make it easier, but I was trying to print the actual physical copy, and I think I just got it done recently.
Okay,
that was my struggle.
Yeah, I had to wait. I had to print mine the next day, and kind of like I started on a piece of paper for the Tuesday because I had to wait until I got in. So I understand that too. Anybody else have any insight on the weekly design system? How it worked for you? How it didn't? Any tips on how to help us do better? No. One thing that I find that really helps, because I do a weekly plan for myself at work when I'm working. I will I'm very task oriented, so I create a list of tasks that I have to get done during the day. And instead of beating myself up for whatever I'm not able to get done, what I do is I actually just take the stuff at the end of whatever I couldn't finish in one day and put it at the top of my list for the next day. And then I make sure that I make the adjustments. It's kind of hard to stick to a rigid schedule. We do have to allow flexibility for our children and for other things that, that happen in our lives. And as long as we are still prioritizing the things that we wanted to get done, if you have to put it to another day or rearrange, one of the things is that I wanted to say is like not to beat yourself up for that. It's very normal. And we get better with practice, which is what I had said to you last night actually in the group chat. So good job for everybody who did it. Thank you for participating.
Mm. And one thing it is that we are going to pick up within this book, which is great, is that it does help us to refine the amount of things we have on our to-do list. I used to, like, every day I used to have a new to-do list of like 3 to 4 things that I need to get done. Now it's like I have 3 to 4 to-dos that carry throughout the entire week. Like it's like, so it's more the book does teach us how to refine where we put our time and our energy and our resources. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to everybody picking up, because I find it has helped me a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so if nobody else has anything to add about the homework for last week, let's just go right into the chapter 7 to 9. How did you find those chapters now that we kind of know a little bit?
Hello?
Yeah, we're hearing you, Nate.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on the road right now. Grand rising to you all. Shanta and I are on the road going to the office, but we kind of did a little bit of the homework. We were able to kind of put a calendar together because we're big on kind of taking chunks or blocks of time and allocating them. We have children, we drive our children to school. We have to be at the office to open it up, when the management doesn't open. And then we have activities, outreach activities, follow up with client activities. We have training activities with our assistants. So the day is quite full. And then you realize there's still some time for eating, sleeping, going to the facility, taking care of yourself. And then that nothing time that is probably maybe like an hour, and that includes all self-development on top of that. The 5 a.m. club is part of my weekly to do, and it's hard everything. But once you kind of allocate your day, you don't have nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. As you can see, we still have to be flexible because we're supposed to be at the office already, but we're not there yet. So, yeah, I definitely agree with what you guys are saying in terms of having to be flexible, because things happen. Things definitely happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. That was great. I guess it's when you're working with someone, especially if you have a partner, you kind of have to cross-reference your schedules and match them up a little bit. It can't just be your schedule alone if you're working in a team environment. So good on you. Keep doing it. Practice makes perfect,
There's one thing I want to add, Shauna. It's Kathleen.
Hello.
Hi everyone. I want to add, like Pharaoh, I've been part of the 5 a.m. club. I always try to wake up early, do my work in the morning, meditate, praying, or start my morning. But since we said something, our subconscious mind will fight with us. We need to be aware of that. We need to be bigger than our subconscious. We need to train our subconscious to accept what we are giving them. We really need to be tough. I love that, the fact that we have that. And then when we have a schedule, our mind will say no to our schedule. Be aware, be conscious that our mind will fight us. We need to work with our subconscious to put everything, to integrate everything. So guys, keep going and you'll success, because it's not easy. Even me, I'm fighting. You know why? Because I have printed that schedule. I have printed everything. So I put everything, and then your mind is not, no, don't, So train your mind and work with it, and will be success.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yay. I love it. And with that being said, there's one, I'm going to go just dive into the themes real quick here because we're running a little bit out of time. We only have limited amount of time. I wanted to discuss one of the things that really stood out to me was the line, I think it was in chapter 7, when they said, inspiration is fed by isolation. That really got me because I think about it and I'm like, when I come, this is what happens when I get home from work. I come home from work, I will make myself a cup of tea. I go sit on my balcony because my partner's still working. Or maybe he might be done work, but my son is still at daycare, and I go on my balcony because I love to be outside. I chose this place specifically for the trees on the outside of my my unit, and I sit for an hour and I don't speak. And I just think I either will meditate or I'll listen to my book, or sometimes I just sit and be still. You know, the Bible does tell us, God tells us to be still, and we do not know how to do that. I'm not saying that everybody is a Christian. I'm just referencing, something that means a lot to me. But being still, just being able to sit with yourself. A lot of people cannot do it. I recently went to a mental health seminar, and the first thing that the speaker did was have everybody sit silently for 4 minutes. She said, take your hands. She's like, take everything off your hands, put your hands on your side, just sit there for 4 minutes. Don't talk to anyone. Don't, it was a mental health seminar at church. So she had to really just be like, you might be compelled to speak in tongues, but just hold it down. Like, she's like, just hold it down. She's like, just be still. God does tell us to be still. Everything around us tells us to be still. And in reality, when you're sitting on the beach, what do you want to do? You want to sit, you want to be still. You want to give yourself the freedom, your brain the freedom, the amount of time to stretch, to expand, to let new thoughts in, to not be so cased in by your daily routine, so to speak, right? And so I actually, as a part of my schedule, is I schedule that time into my day. Yes, it is still, I'm still keeping it in as a part of my routine, but it's an hour of me to allow my brain to just do what it wants. If I want to be upset and I want to overthink and I want to have conversations with people I'm mad at in my head, that's my time to do it. If I'm going to think about my next steps, or, as a consultant, I have projects that I do for different clients. And sometimes when I'm sitting there and you're ready to start something, you're just blank, absolutely blank. So I will either, go sit outside or go take a shower and, or just do something alone that will allow you to open up your creative mind, to open up your productive mind. A lot of us are afraid to be alone, but isolation can be very powerful. And so that really got me. Did any other themes or any of the topics that they spoke about in the 3 chapters there, did anything stick out to any of you like that?
There was a couple of things for me. One is I don't know who else was shocked that the spellbinder was still alive. I think that was dope. And so that was the first time I heard the book. I was like, oh shoot. Now obviously like I knew it was coming, but like anyways,
Yeah.
that's such a cool twist. I really like the way the story's going. But I just find like it is amping up in terms of the philosophies, and like it's like they're coming out fast and furious. And a lot of times it's things that we know, but it's great to have them say it. And so I try to make notes of all the different little things, different sayings. The old you must die for the new you to live. And again, like and I was talking to my wife about this just last night, because I genuinely feel that as human beings, we do level up. And it's almost, I could compare it to like operating systems. It's like when you level up, it's like you download a whole new you, right? And it's like you function differently. And you could reference kind of things that you used to think about and how you used to be, but it's like an old you, so it is real in the sense that if you're genuine about becoming a new person, you really do become a new person. Like you have your outer frame, but you download a whole new processing system, and then that becomes a new you. So that's one of the things that I find cool. And I also I like the way that Stone presents just like a light way of living. Like he's a billionaire and he's living in a like whatever, he lives his best life, but he always presents like that the goal in life is to keep things light. Like it's, and one of the things I have to say, and even my family is realizing the difference, is that with this new frame of mind that I have, I do have more time. I for some reason I'm lighter. Like I am like, you know what, at the end of my evening, I actually do have time to just chill, watch TV, hang, where in the past that was never my reality. So these are things I'm loving from the book so far. Oh, you're on mute.
For sharing.
No problem.
Thank you for sharing, Pharaoh. You know what? I need to get my mouse because this keypad is just not working. Is there anybody else want to share their insights from chapters 7 to 9? I too was actually really pleased to see that see that he was still alive. He just kind of dropped, and then he said, you know, burnout is real. And I actually, it's really funny because I had mentioned my own burnout in the group chat this week. Last week, just said, you know, I was feeling really burnt out and having a little bit of trouble with my schedule, but the routine of getting up early and just doing starting with at least one productive thing in the morning has really helped me. So yeah, anybody else want to share about their thoughts on chapter 7 to 9?
One thing, so morning, this is Ayanna.
Good morning.
So one thing I'm still turning over in my head a little bit is there was the thought of, and I may not, that may be even in chapter 10, but it was the thought of great leaders typically have little possessions. And then the juxtaposition with that with having so much, right? You were talking about, oh, he has all this, he has the Rolls Royce, he has the driver. So I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what's the message? Right? What's if he's showing how much he has and how much he's been able to acquire, but maybe I'm, like I said, I'm still thinking through it. It's more of that's not the point, right? Is to naturally acquire those things. It's more to be in service and to really live your purpose. And those things may or may not come if that's what you want. I don't know. I'm still trying to turn that over a little bit.
That if I could add 2 cents to that too, because that actually I had noted that on my side as well, because it is almost like an oxymoron. On one side you have Mother Teresa, I think the example that he gave, and then you have Stone, who has like everything and like 5 planes, and then
exactly, yeah.
but then I remember the Spellbinder, he had said there's nothing wrong with having things. He says don't define your worth on your material things, and I think that's the slight nuance there. It's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having these things, but don't feel that you're bigger or better than anybody else because you have these things, and don't define like your quality or who you are as a person based off of these material things. I think that's the thing there.
They also briefly mentioned the 2020 rule, or the 2020 formula, and I just wanted to know, I know that we're going to go into it a little bit more deeper into the book, but I wanted to know if anybody had looked into that, or because essentially I guess what we're going to be doing this week is the victory hour, which is, you know, you wake up at 5 a.m. Every day for a week. We're going to actually try to get up at 5 a.m. if you're not already doing so, and then use the first hour as your victory hour, documenting, you know, by taking a selfie every morning and posting it in the group, and then sharing your experience about how the hour has impacted your day. Sorry. And one of the things I wanted to actually, I guess I should have put this, I should have put it in the notes on the agenda, but I want you to refer to the 2020 formula when we're doing this, because it allows us to, and I will explain what the 2020 formula is, but it does allow us to break down that hour into smaller parts, and just, like I said, just getting something, as simple as, you know, trying to get one productive thing done in the morning. The structure, I think, was going to be really helpful to people like myself who can sometimes only do one thing and want to do more, you know.
So. You know, I kind of call that the Caribbean mentality. I don't know, like those who have time spent in the Caribbean, like they don't really do more than 2 things in a day, and that's like It's like that's it. Like they get the one thing. If it's going to the bank today, that's the day.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I did today. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, it's the funniest thing. My dad watched me. He's like, wow, you do so much in a day. Like one thing, he's like, that's it, max 2 maybe. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. So I am gonna break down the I'm gonna break down the pardon me, the 2020 rule for you. I'm just trying to pull it up. I just had it up on my screen and now it disappeared. So forgive me. Pharaoh, can I, as soon as I find this, can I?
Yeah, I could fill in while you're looking for it. So basically, like what Trishana's gonna break down. So the 2020 is when you take the first hour of your day, as they call it, the I think they coined it as your empower hour or something like that. But it's where you the hours broken down what you do in the first 20 minutes, second 20 minutes, and third 20 minutes. And if I'm not, I think the first 20 minutes is the workout part. Right, and the one of the keys and the tricks in terms of being really successful in getting up at 5, guys, is as the alarm goes off, jump out of bed. That is how you have to do it, because the stretch out of bed and kind of say I'm going to meditate, my eyes closed a little bit here, it's not gonna work. You have to get out of bed. You have to like stand up, just throw yourself out of your bed. That's the first thing. And then they say within that first 20 minutes to do some kind of workout that's going to get your blood pumping. But then what I like about it is that they also give like the scientific parts of like what it actually does to your brain to get your blood moving that early in the morning and different things like that. So that's really cool. All right, there you go.
All right, so here is a deconstruction of that 2020 formula. This is the formula that we're going to use for our victory hour. So like Pharaoh said, the first 20 minutes, like he said, jump right out of bed, like you've been shocked with a taser. I did that this morning. One of the things I did, I did not sweat, but I did hop out of bed and go straight into the shower because that did help me wake up. And so I'm going to also apply this to myself. Exercise is something that I need to prioritize a little bit more in my schedule. It's one of the things that I always say I can do it on the next day. And so I do want to make sure that I am prioritizing the things that I do shift over. So yes, like he said, we'll start off with the first pocket of time from 5 a.m. to 5:20, and that is to move, intense exercise, sweat hard, learn, hydrate, breathe deeply. If you have a home gym or if you go to the gym in the morning, there's also, I have a son here, so, I do some exercises at home. Pilates is really good for some people who don't have the equipment. There's a couple of other things we can share ideas, as well as different exercises that we did in the first 20 minutes to help kick off our day. Meditating and doing a little bit of yoga is always one of the things that does help. And that is also a part of the second pocket of time, which is to reflect. We will journal. We can either reflect on, the day before, or journal about what you want your day to be, or just journal, just whatever you're feeling. In the same way that you would read a narrator speaking their story, right in that tone, as a person looking in on your life, plan your day, pray, give thanks and contemplate. Take some time to reflect. The reason why we do this is that it does boost your gratitude. It helps you become more aware of your day and more aware of yourself. Self-awareness is the first step to success, I believe. It does help you with your happiness and your wisdom, and that time, like I said, to just be still and to really reflect. You'll be surprised what kind of inspiration you're going to have when you're done, at least that second part of it. Pocket number 3 is to grow. Review your goals, read a book. We're reading an audiobook. This is the perfect chance for you to actually read the 5 a.m. Club in the 5 a.m. hour. You can listen to some podcasts, or if you have any classes, you can do that as well. The 2 times 3 times mindset, which is something that they did mention in these chapters, but I will scroll to that page in a second. It that also helps to deepen your knowledge and, you know, your confidence, and to help you master change. These things that we do for ourselves, even though we might think they're small tasks, the little things matter. It's kind of like, think of it as, you know, the little things you look for in a relationship, in your friendships, or in your with your partners. If you're not willing to do those little things for yourself, how can we expect them from other people? We have to love ourselves first. And so this is the perfect formula to help us to get to that part, to just to succeed, to excel, to grow. Looking for, forgive me, the 2 by 10 by mindset. I thought I saw it
And
here.
while you're pulling that up, I don't know if anybody else had any other reflection from the book, from these last 2 chapters that they want to share before we wrap.
I can't find it. But what I will do is when I do find it, I will put a message. I'll put a blurb about it in the book. I thought I saw it here this morning, but I guess not. I'll put a blurb about it in the chat for us to that's the 2 by 10 by mindset, 2 by 3 by mindset. And yes, if what Farah was saying, does anyone have any other questions or insight before we wrap up? Are we clear on what we're going to be doing this week? Was I clear enough in that? Can I just get
No, can you repeat that again? Like I didn't. Were you talking about taking selfies at 5 o'clock in the morning?
I sure was.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So can you just reiterate that for me?
Absolutely. The victory hour. So we're gonna get up at 5 a.m. You're not gonna turn off your alarm. You're gonna get up. You are going to take a selfie, and we're gonna post it in the group. And we are going to implement the 20-20-20 formula into our victory hour. So the whole point is to get up and seize your day. We're going to practice getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning this week. Anyone who does have any trouble with that, please reach out. You know, like like I said, what I want is for us to be able to share the things that worked for us, for ourselves, because you never know what might help somebody else. My insight perspective is very important, and we all have different perspectives. We all have different lives. So we will get up at 5 a.m. and we will implement the 20-20-20 formula, starting off with 20 minutes of movement, and then 20 minutes of reflection, and 20 minutes of personal growth to lead us to 6 a.m. To start the rest of your day.
With that, I shared a little video clip that what I use when I'm kicking off the day. It's a workout you can do at home. So I just shared it in the group. This little Chinese guy that does this little 5 minutes of different movement things, you know. But it helps me, and if anybody else has any other workout clips and stuff they would could share in the group, that would be appreciated as well.
I'm gonna add something also. We are here together, okay, to chat, to exchange, to talk about our journey, okay, guys? Be ready when we come here. I have listened to the 5 a.m. club, so I'm letting the chance to other people to share their thought about it. But guys, we need to listen to the book. And thank you so much for the tips that you are giving us for the 5 a.m. One thing I'm gonna add for you is, we know it's cold now out there. I am seeing my daughter, I go out, but I'm seeing my daughter working in the house because she doesn't want to go out, but she wants to exercise. If you don't want to go out, if you don't cannot do like a lot of exercise, walk inside the house. If you are Christian, you can praise inside your house, but do something, make some movement in your house if you don't want to go outside in the cold. So this is my 5 cents for today. Thank you, guys. Great job, Shona.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that input, and it's really nice to have people who do have the experience with the 5 a.m. club to help us in this group. And so I will also lean on you if I need it as well, Carlene, if you don't mind. And with that, it's 5:30. So
All right,
back to you.
time to transition over. Thank you, Sister Shauna. And actually, I'm going to switch the recording, stop and start a new one.